Welcome to Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. I'm Jonna.
And I'm Kim.
And welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
We're here again.
Yeah, in our last video we were in Jonna's. We're going to be in Jonna's house for these 3 videos.
Yeah, my house is suddenly quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Max and Laura and her husband moved out this last weekend, so yeah.
So it's kind of bittersweet.
It is.
Yeah.
So suddenly my house grew and it got cleaner, but it's quiet. So
they don't live that far away though.
No, about 50 minutes. So, that's a car drive. So yeah. So I miss them.
So here we are again. And actually where we're sitting now, we have often sat and knitted.
Yes.
Like when we put the chairs in front of her fireplace, there are never chairs in front of the fireplace. We don't sit in front of the fireplace and knit. But it was perfect for our ranunculus video because we were wearing short sleeve little sweaters, and it's like less than 20 degrees here in New York. So
it's our coldest day of the year.
Yeah. We were toasty warm in front of the fire.
Yeah.
But this is where we have often sat and knitted.
And we sat here for our Knit Together with Kim and Jonna that we did live.
Yes, when we used to gather in a group before COVID.
Yeah.
We used to sit in this living room and in my living room.
Yeah. So we're enjoying a nice warm fire that you can't see and drinking hot liquid.
Yeah, you might hear the fire actually, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, so we're cozy. There's still snow on the ground outside.
So what are we talking about today?
Yeah, so I'll be doing most of the talking because we all know I have the most whips.
Yes.
And whips are my works in progress. Kim has a few, but I have a lot. But you know what? What's really the difference between a whip and a UFO? So how do you suddenly declare something a UFO?
I was thinking about if there is a difference because I feel like people use them somewhat interchangeably. Maybe they don't. Maybe they have an intention.
They're inclusive, so all of our whips are unfinished objects also.
Yes.
But it's not all of our, it's not reciprocal, so our UFOs are not usually works in progress.
So it's interesting. I had never thought of it because I don't even have that many.
I have more than enough for the two of us.
But we were talking about doing this mini-sode, and I was going to call it UFOs, and then I realized, you can also call it whips. And so I texted you, and I said, is there a difference? And you said, you think so? And because I had just thought about it and thought, I think there might be a difference. So what do you think the difference is?
So, I think a work in progress is something that you're actually working on. Even if you haven't touched it in a couple days, it's not stuck. So I feel like a UFO is like stuck for some reason. Either you're disenchanted, or you've made a mistake, or someone's not right with the yarn, or you don't understand the pattern, or whatever it is. You're stuck for some reason. So a UFO, and sometimes I always say, sometimes a yarn and a pattern don't have a baby. Sometimes it just gets stuck, and that it's never ever going to be a thing. But you stare at it and you let it stare back at you for a little while and make you feel guilty until you decide to invite Kim over and have her rip it out for you. Or this sweater I'm wearing, I've actually knitted this twice. So I frogged this entire sweater because it was too big on the way to the movies. I sat in the back seat and, we were talking in the car, and I just mindlessly frogged the whole sweater. And it was much less painful than sitting there by myself and, Yeah, but I'm so glad I did because it fits much better.
But not all of your UFOs are going to be ripped out. Some of them you love, like your brioche shawl.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I consider that a work in progress.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. I definitely have some UFOs, though. Yeah.
But I think there can also be, I consider this a UFO because I never work on it. But I fully intend to work on it.
Oh.
It's not going to rip it out, but I would consider this a UFO because I don't feel like picking it up right now. I'm not. It's just sitting there unfinished. So I would consider this a UFO.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we're unclear.
And by the way, if you think I look weird, I actually had a different outfit on. And the only other garment, actually the very first garment I ever knitted for myself is kind of I knitted it with that same yarn that I talked about in Ranunculus. The Shibui
Chima or
Sima. Yes. That was the first thing I knitted with this stash yarn. I knitted kind of a t-shirt, a v-neck short sleeve t-shirt. And I am wearing it under here. I'll wear it in another. It's nothing flashy. It's just a simple t-shirt. No other color, nothing. But I sorry, I got distracted, making sure the camera's still on. Sorry. But I was getting ready to sit down, and this thing is about UFOs and whips. And
you're wearing one.
I'm wearing one of my whips, yes.
Now, talk about why it's unfinished at the moment. Because it would have been finished. But...
Oh, I mean, yeah, it probably would have been finished. So, okay, quickly, we want these to be short mini-sodes, right?
They're never short.
But yeah, I have knitting needles right here. I have a stitch marker to mark the top of my...
Now, did you go buy these?
Middle of my sleeve. I did.
Okay.
Because I actually broke some interchangeable cables.
Which is why this project
3 interchangeable cables broke knitting this sweater. I mean, it was just a combination probably of knitting other things. But, so, you know how in the New Year's thing I said, my 3 or 4 must knits. This was not on them. Right?
This is a spur of the moment.
Yes. I think I mentioned in a previous video I had gone to the Clinton Hill Cashmere trunk show, and I really, really, really wanted to knit a cashmere sweater. So my Christmas present to myself, instead of putting it on layaway like I said I was going to do, or, you know, I just went and bought it. Did I buy it right before? I think I bought it literally the day before Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was done with everything else, and I just wanted something fun and luxurious and fast. Because I'm going to do Amina next, but I have to make bobbins.
Right.
I already gauge swatched, but it's going to be more of a project. So, and it's knitted flat, so I just wanted something like cozy and fast knitting. So yes, I would have finished it by now. I started it on the 22nd. That's probably when I swatched it. And I said this in a previous video, I helped someone move. So an entire weekend from Thursday, it started with, you know, sorting on her storage unit on Thursday, and then ended with helping until Monday, really. And so I couldn't knit. It's fine. I'm so happy I got to help her. I don't like moving, but I love like unpacking things and like finding homes for them. So that was fun. That was fun. Anyway, so it would have been finished. It's the Clinton Hill Cashmere. This is the worsted. Oh, can I also talk about the last episode 3?
Yeah.
So I had mentioned that the 2 hats I made, the beanies for Christmas, the red one and the gray one. The gray one had a pom-pom. Yes, episode 3. Is that what it was? Yeah. Was it? Yeah. That I said that it was Clinton Hill Cashmere Bespoke DK. And then when I was editing, I was like, wait, I think it's actually worsted. And I don't know. So I put in captions, actually, it was worsted. And then after we uploaded it and it was ready to go on YouTube, literally an hour and a half before it was going to air that Friday, I started to have a panic attack, and I checked the label of the red one, and it was DK. And then I was like, Jonna, I have to change the captions. I have to. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to leave it.
It's going to take too long to upload.
I'm just going to leave it.
Yeah.
So, but basically what happened was, as I was putting some yarn away, I looked at the gray label, the gray hat, and it is worsted. So that's why I was confused. And this is worsted. It's all from the same collection, the Clinton Hill Cashmere collection. There's a sweater for a man, a woman, children, beanies for all sizes. So that's why I was confused. But I knitted the red hat, the red beanie, and the gray beanie, same needle size, same stitches, same everything. I did make the gray one shorter because she has a smaller head, but 2 different yarn weights. The red one for my husband is a DK, and it's a little floppier, and the gray one is the worsted. It has a little bit more structure. So I was very confused. But understandably, because at that moment, too, I was knitting this, and I thought it was the same yarn. It basically is, and this is not DK. So clearing that up.
Anyway, you're right on both counts.
Right on both of them were right in some way. And so, yeah, this is what they call, I think it's technically called their indigo, but Becky, the owner of Clinton Hill Cashmere, likes to call this the real denim. There's a light denim, but she's like, this is denim. Oh, also they're having a knit-along starting in February. Oh. And I'm thinking of joining, but I'll probably be finished. I'll definitely be finished by then, but I might join in on the, what are they called? Like, they're going to do lives.
A Zoom.
Zooms or lives or something. I don't really know, but that's it. So that's why I'm wearing a sweater with no sleeve and part of a sleeve, but it's beautiful. And the end is not woven in yet. I don't know.
And she's walking around with a ball of yarn attached.
Yeah, and I also haven't written anything in any notebook about it. I'm actually writing on the pattern for this one. I don't know why.
So, and we might do an episode on this too, but I use GoodNotes. So I have an iPad, and I import the PDF into my GoodNotes app, and then I have an Apple Pencil, so I can mark up right on the pattern. So I've been keeping notes that way.
So you use technology.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I have some paper patterns. I use technology, and then I transfer everything into Ravelry.
Don't you have like a chart thing too that like follows a chart? Like,
so I used to use Knit Companion, but I just found it not very user friendly.
okay.
So I like the kind of freewheeling good notes thing. I can just scribble all over the place, and yeah, I think Knit Companion is great for certain things, especially for color work charts. Because in good notes, I do miss like having a ruler where I can follow along in the pattern and have a ruler. It may have that function. If it does, please let me know in the comments below because I cannot figure it out.
Yeah. So
that would be awesome. So yeah, as we all know, I have several works in progress.
So yeah, so this is UFOs and works in progress. Yeah. This is my current sweater work in progress. This is my UFO blanket that I will finish. And then the other thing is my main thing I wanted to learn in 2022 was 2 at a time socks.
Yeah.
And I'm trying slowly. But can I tell you, I feel like I'm cheating on my sweater when I knit them.
Yes, that's because you are a monogamous knitter.
I am. So
yeah.
The only reason that I wasn't going to knit the sweater during this video anyway is because I'm doing sleeve decreases, so I would have to
pay attention.
Every fourth, I have to pay attention. So anyway, I'm done talking about my UFOs and whips. Take it away.
It's me the rest of the time, huh? I have a lot. So, I don't know. Let's start with some socks since you're knitting on socks.
Do it.
Okay, so these socks are tangled at the moment. And these socks are Intersections by Marceline Smith. And she is also Hey Brown Berry on YouTube. And she is lovely. And she has just a calm, peaceful voice. And she lives in Florida. And sometimes she's sitting out in her garden and has a fire going. And yeah, I really, really encourage you to watch. She is also a pattern designer. So these are the Intersection socks, which is also in Line of Magazine's 52 Weeks of Socks. And I just thought that these were gorgeous. And I actually had the yarn in stash. So these are Paton's Kroy in the colorway Flax. And yeah, they're beautiful,
wow,
right?
Beautiful. When I leave today, can I take these?
Oh, and these are my these are my first toe-up socks. So I probably did something like Judy's Magic Cast-On.
The one that goes kind of in both directions?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the sock just grows out from there, and then you're doing increases instead of decreases on the toe. And I mean, these are scrumptious. You know how thick they are.
They're really beautiful.
Oh yeah, these are going to be beautiful. So I would consider, even though I haven't picked this up in probably, since deep COVID times, I would still consider this a work in progress because I do fully intend to finish these because they are gorgeous. Okay.
By the way, I'll probably include a slideshow of all of Jonna's UFOs and works in progress at the very, very end because I don't think she's going to talk in detail about any of them, right? We're just going to talk about. I'm just going
to have to speed through. So
yeah, because it's a lot. So yeah. I'll insert some pictures here because this texture on here is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely put a slideshow at the end of everything that you can think of.
Okay.
She was looking for stuff today and like, I found another pair. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Because the kids lived here, I have stuff stashed in every cranny.
Because the baby his room was your yarn room.
Right.
Your sewing room.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what's this?
So this is the Vapour socks by Helen Stewart. And I've knit, this is my second pattern from her. And they're amazing. So if you ever wanted to do like a lace sock, her patterns are written out line by line. There are charts too, but fantastic patterns.
So
we're back. Had a change of battery and a change of wardrobe.
Yes. I wanted to use the full battery, so I kind of knew it was going to die. I was watching it go, and then she was just finishing up talking about her blue socks. But do you want to start over without them, or?
Sure.
Okay.
So these are my Vapour socks by Helen Stewart. And I usually join her Sock Society club every year. I don't know if it's once a year. I think it's once a year. And there's usually 5 or 6 patterns included. And her patterns are just gorgeous. They're very well written, line by line. If you're a beginner to lace socks,
That's so beautiful.
I would highly recommend. And just beautiful designs. This is my second pair of Helen Stewart socks. I knit a brown pair Cannot remember what they were called. This is in Malabrigo sock, which is the same yarn that I used for my sister-in-law's ranunculus in Impressionist Sky. So I had to track down a third skein.
Wow, at first you were worried you couldn't find a second one, and now you
one.
found a third one. It's beautiful.
So I think
love
I
that
got
color.
this at the observatory shop in Hastings.
Yeah. What's the owner's name? I'm so bad with names. We should do a field trip there.
It's not
Awesome.
Alicia, is it?
I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to do a field trip there.
I'll put it in the caption.
Yeah, she's really sweet.
She's really sweet.
Yeah, she is.
And crazy coincidence, one day, another friend of mine who Jonna doesn't know posted about her friend she was at the observatory shop. And the very same day, Jonna went to the observatory shop, and I saw both of their posts, and I was like, wait, my other friend knows. So it turns out my other friend is really good friends with the owner of the observatory shop. And then you went there on the very same day that my other friend posted about it. It was kind of funny. Small world.
Yeah, and I don't go there too often, but
And my other friend doesn't
It's
knit.
great.
That's what I thought was so strange.
it's a great shop because she has like little knickknacks
Yes.
and buttons and washi tape and clothing and candles, and it's a great little gift shop.
And it's a cute little town. It could be like a destination if you want to
It
go for a
is.
little drive in New
Yeah,
York.
and you can take the Metro North and
Oh,
just
yeah,
get
it's
right
from the
off
city. Yeah,
at the
it's
train
right on
station
the-
in Hastings.
The Hudson line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's not it for socks because I just cast on some 2 at a time socks.
Yay. And that's a yarn love.
Yeah, it's Yarn Love yarn in the Language of Flowers colorway. So we're going to talk about this in another episode,
Yes.
but I did the ribbing first and then put them on one needle. I did the ribbing on separate needles. So, and Kim did not. She cast right onto one needle. So.
Yes, we'll talk about that. We're going to do another mini-sode very soon, and it's going to be about sock knitting tips and tricks.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about my socks then. So what else?
Okay. What's in here?
This is so exciting.
Oh, I know what this is. So my friend Claudia and I, who you've heard me talk about, went on a yarn crawl in Long Island, and I was very new knitter, so I kind of didn't know what to even buy. I didn't know the difference between superwash and non-superwash and fingering and DK. I just really didn't know.
And I don't know what a yarn crawl is.
Yeah, so
What's a yarn crawl?
It was funny that day. I think it was in the late spring, but we were having an ice storm, and we took off early in the morning and just visited these different stores in Long Island. And we took if you go out to the tip of Long Island, you have to take a ferry to get to certain places on the island.
Oh, wow.
A car ferry, yeah. So we drove our car onto the ferry. It was really, really fun. We had a great
that's
time.
Fun.
So I bought this yarn, and honestly, because I was a new knitter, I cannot even tell you who made the yarn. I believe it's superwash. It's a single ply.
So you didn't keep the label.
I didn't keep the label. But I bought this yarn because I thought it looked like Van Gogh's Starry Night. Does it
beautiful.
not? It's absolutely beautiful.
It does.
And this shawl pattern, yes, this might be a UFO. This might be one that never, ever gets made. And it's no fault of the pattern because the pattern is absolutely beautiful. And it's Waiting for Rain, the Waiting for Rain shawl by, who's that by? Sylvia McFadden. And this was an ambitious project for me as a new knitter because the lace charts were written in, there's increases and short rows, and it was really hard for me to figure out, but I figured it out. And
It'll be hard to get a picture
This would be
of,
a
too.
beautiful, well, mostly because I took it off mid-row because, who does that? And, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But we'll try to stretch it out a little bit and at least get a little bit of this lace.
Okay.
But you can look up the pattern, and people can look up the pattern to
it's a
see what it really is.
beautiful
And this
shawl.
yarn, I love. Why aren't you going to finish this? It's so gorgeous.
I don't know.
Look at how this yarn.
I know. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't even know which is the right side and which is the wrong side. I think they're...
And you would look so pretty in that, too.
Yeah, so this was initially a gift from my mom, and I think I just ran out of time and got sidetracked. But it's gorgeous, and the pattern is gorgeous. I highly recommend the pattern. Very well written. The only reason I'm stalled is no fault of the pattern or the yarn. So
It's because you were like, oh, another new pattern.
squirrel.
Oh,
Yes.
another new pattern.
Yes, that would be me. That would be me. And sometimes, you put something down and then you're not sure, and I didn't take very good notes back then, and you're not sure where you are in the pattern.
Oh, that's one reason I take notes.
Yes. So that could be another issue.
And by the way, I do ooh, that's cute, ooh. But what I do is I buy the pattern and I buy all the yarn.
Right.
And so my stash is my unfinished projects. They aren't started. They're just, like I said, in these plastic bins with the pattern and all the yarn ready to go.
Well, I sometimes have the idea of a pattern in my head when I buy yarn, but then it doesn't come to fruition, and so then I add the yarn to my stash. So, anyway. Alrighty, what is next? Oh, this is my classic. I think it's called the Classic by Espace Tricot. Oops, I'm dropping stitches here.
Oh no, catch them fast.
Yeah, here we go. Now I'm seeing where all my needles are. And this is a very, hence the name, classic turtleneck sweater from Espace Tricot. And top down, raglan.
Is this for you or someone else?
That's for me.
You should finish this for
I
the
absolutely
fall.
love
it's not
this
that you
color.
Any color? Any
Yeah,
color.
and why I set this down, mid raglan, who knows? But the yarn is gorgeous. It's the Isair Alpaca 2, absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I didn't realize that that's the base color.
And then this is also Sanduskarn. Yeah.
Wow, putting these two together, I don't love this color by itself, and I don't love that color by itself.
Oh, really?
But together, the depth of color.
Right. Because the lighter color shows through. It's almost iridescent.
Oh my goodness. I love it. You have to get a picture of this. It's just amazing.
This is beautiful. This is good. It's good to revisit these.
Yes.
Because it's just a reminder like, wow, these are some really nice projects with beautiful yarn. And I'm pretty sure I know where I am in that pattern, so I'm not stuck. So why I set that down? Who knows? Squirrel again, probably.
So funny.
Alrighty. Oh gosh, I lied. I have more socks. But I think I talked about these in a previous episode. These are my Christmas socks, and these will get frogged.
We both started these at the same...
I did start to frog them, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
we both.
And this was a pattern situation with self-striping yarn, and I was unhappy with the way it was pooling, and that's what happened there. So, yeah. And these are actually the first
I'll talk more about how
socks.
I solved that problem. I think I've mentioned it before, but I'll talk about it when we do the sock video.
Right, because you finished your socks.
Yes, but I just did something weird just to not have the striping be messed up. But
so, I think these are the first adult socks I ever cast on. And I want to say that these are the
and they have a cable.
Socks. I think it's a free.
Who does your first adult sock?
I don't even know.
3 cables.
I don't even know.
Jonna.
I don't even know how I did these.
Jonna does.
I don't even know. These are way, way, way back in the...
You might actually now have
the
a
dark
different gauge.
The dark ages. Yeah.
Maybe not. They're beautiful. So it's a 2x2. I know we're not going to talk about details, but it's really beautiful.
No, and this is not even sock yarn. This is Barocco natural alpaca. And it's not even sock yarn, but these were going to be house socks anyway. But yeah, these are nice. I don't know.
Beautiful.
I'll probably have you frog those when I'm not looking. Okay, I really do think that that's it for the socks.
Okay.
And here, those are just loose stitch markers. Oh, okay. So we talked about this a little bit. This is my current mood shawl by Leslie Ann Robinson, who I believe is a sister-in-law of Andrea Mowry. I think I heard her say that in one of her I'll Knit If I Want To episodes. So that's
this is
a little fun fact.
Beautiful.
So I picked this pattern because I saw Kristen Lehrer from the Villenvine podcast cast this on in her Villenvine yarns. And I had never done brioche before, and I really wanted to learn. So I just thought the shawl was beautiful, and I bought this yarn in Colorado when we went skiing.
So it's like vacation souvenir yarn.
It is. It's a souvenir yarn, and
love
this
souvenir
is Manos del Uruguay Fino in merino and silk.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I just love the way
we should talk about that in more detail eventually. Don't you think?
What?
That shawl.
Oh, for sure. This is the one that Kim helped me fix the brioche mistake, even though she doesn't.
I've never knitted brioche.
Never knitted brioche, but she understands the construction of the stitch, I think. So this is a really fun pattern. And I fully intend to finish.
And you did that very quickly too. If I remember right, it was just falling. It was just like falling off your needles like so fast.
We started this in the summer, or I started this in the summer because I remember sitting out in your backyard
Mm-hmm.
and working on it. So yeah, I fully intend to finish that. I love it. I think it's a great,
And what's the name of it again?
great pattern. The Current Mood Shawl by
Current.
Leslie Ann Robinson.
Okay,
Yeah, in monostil Uruguay Fino.
great.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
What
a nice
else?
one. Okay.
I feel like I'm in a knitting shop looking at
So this
samples
one,
in progress.
I know this one. I'm not sure it will be a sweater, and it's no fault of the yarn or the pattern. But I think But now that I'm looking at it, it would go great with a skirt, right?
It would.
So this is the Hard Cider by Thea Coleman. It's a great sweater. It's like a cropped turtleneck, really long turtleneck. I remember knitting this turtleneck forever, like 7 inches of ribbing. And
Is that a 2x2 also? Or a 3x3? What is that?
1, 2, 3, 3x3.
Wow. It's really
Yeah,
pretty.
long turtleneck. And it's got some lace work
Mhm.
on the body.
Mhm.
Yeah. So why I set this down, I'm not sure. It's
Oh,
definitely soft.
By the
and
way, in
squishy.
comments, someone asked if we could insert pattern pictures, and if it's a finished object that we have, I usually don't insert pattern pictures, but we say what it is.
Mm.
If it's something that there's not enough of it to really see what it is, so maybe for this, I'll go to Ravelry and take
It's a great pattern.
pictures.
Yeah.
So people can see the designer's pictures that they have, and then I always put photo credit. I don't really know if it's a copyright thing, if I'm like screenshotting the picture, but I always put photo credit where I got the picture. So I usually give the designer or whoever,
Yeah,
Ravelry.
I love seeing those Ravelry pictures.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
of the completed
I
sweater.
will do that. We don't always do that. Like if we have our actual finished object, then I don't. But we all of it's in the show notes. If you want to see or click on the link, they're all in there. And if the links don't work, let us know.
Because
We can
this is
change
not my
them.
favorite thing to hold up.
Yeah, when we hold it up, you
paper.
can't really see it. Or
So-
even taking a picture of a piece of paper, you're not going to see the detail as well.
Yeah,
So,
it's a gorgeous sweater.
right. Nice.
I think I just.
So I think you should finish that one.
Yeah, I actually haven't looked at this one in a while, and the yarn is fine. The yarn's beautiful.
You know what you could do? You could just make it like a dickie.
A dickie, which are so popular right now. It's so funny.
I know.
Dickies are
It's
everywhere.
Everywhere.
But
Oh my-
honestly, here in New York, we could totally use them.
Oh my, seriously.
Yeah, it's freezing.
I have this really cute faux fur, blue faux fur coat, and I wish there was one more snap at the top because it hangs open. I did make myself a cowl, but sometimes that's even too breezy. I wish.
Oh, you have that. Remember that rabbit fur multicolored?
I do, but that's also really
beautiful-
stretched out.
Oh, okay. I love that.
Is it real
You let
rabbit?
me-
I hope it's not real rabbit.
I think it might be, but you let me wear it one time and it was beautiful.
It's so cozy. Anyway, I'll check again.
All right. So I've showed this before on the podcast. This is my Shawlography by Stephen West.
We have lots of
And
pictures of it.
This was on timeout because I wasn't sure how to proceed.
As you approach the striped section.
Yeah, as I approach the stripe section. So that said, my friend Claudia has since made me a cowl in the same Holst Super Soft, and it blocked like you wouldn't believe. It was soft and squishy and plump. And so now I'm encouraged to finish it.
Nice.
Yeah, because this is going to be amazing. Once it's blocked,
Mm-hmm.
this yarn it's very thin
It
and
is.
stringy. But yeah, I think it's going to be beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to finish
That will be
this.
finished.
Yeah.
That's a whip. Definitely a whip
That's
in
a
your
whip.
book.
But I've got some stuff for you to tear out.
Really?
Yeah, that's
What? I can start right now.
got something froggy.
I'm kind of like.
Something
I just
froggy.
got worried that I picked up
I'm sorry for the crunching.
my socks facing the wrong direction and I did something.
So this is an instance of when, gosh, this is almost a whole sweater. When a yarn and a pattern, or this is like a mashup of the Cumulus Tee by Petite Knit, and then I thought I'd do a split hem, like the super simple summer sweater that I'm wearing. I think that's what it's called, by Joji Locatelli. I'll put it in the show notes. But yeah.
You don't like it?
No.
Why not?
I would much rather it be something else. I think the yarn's great. It's Knit Picks Wonder Fluff. I think, and I saw this on Constance's channel.
Yes, yes,
yeah,
she made a
she
few
uses
things.
Wonder Fluff a lot. And
So you really want me to?
Yeah, I really do.
I love. You sure?
Yeah, I think I already frogged one of the sleeves.
This is still on waste yarn, and this you took the waste yarn out.
Right,
Okay.
and then I must have changed balls.
Here we go. I'm taking out the little end of the thing. Okay.
Yeah, because this is great yarn, and I do want to use it for something else, but not this.
Okay.
So, yeah. That was kind of a concept sweater, and changed my mind. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh, and this was actually my first test.
I have to ask a question though. What kind of bind off is this? Because this is not easy.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember? It's not just pulling.
I don't think it was a tubular bind off. It's a tubular bind off. Yep.
Okay. Well, it'll take a while. That's fine.
Well, is there any way
No, don't worry about it. It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going. Oh, actually, we should probably pause the camera.
Okay.
Again, I've talked about how, for some reason, there's tons of room on the memory card, but this camera that I purchased can only film 20-minute increments. So we already went off once because of a battery dying. Let's not do that again.
We'll be right back. Yeah, so this was my first and last test.
This is fuzzy. I'm getting fuzz. If I start sneezing, I don't have COVID.
No.
It's just, it's very fuzzy. Go ahead.
This is great yarn.
It's beautiful.
So this is my first and last test knit. And this was a test knit for, and I have a great reason for not finishing the test knits. A worldwide pandemic prevented me from finishing this.
Okay.
I just could not concentrate with everything that was happening. And
nobody knew what was going on back then. Everything was changing day to day.
Got delayed just because, the pandemic hit. And I have to say, it's Tana's Fiber Arts, the city sweater. I'll put it in the show notes. Now I can't remember. I kind of forgot about this one. So I was going to make this for Eleanor, for my granddaughter. And I did sort of a fade. As you can see, now she's bigger.
Oh, so you did that yourself?
I did.
It's 2 different colors.
Yeah.
Oh, look. This is so pretty. I love that.
I don't even remember what yarn this is. But
you can, obviously you're too late for the test knit, but you can finish it. It's so pretty.
City Limits. I think it's a City Limits sweater by Tana's Fiber Arts. And it is a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous sweater and pattern.
But I really love how you did this fade. And you can't recreate it, so I'm kind of bummed that you're going to.
And I cast off. I did an I-cord bind off on the bottom, and it's got this cute side seam detail. Yeah.
Really cute.
Actually, I'm just on Sleeve Island, it looks like, and picking up. Oh, you know what? I ripped out the neck ribbing. Not sure why, but yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, that just needs sleeves.
It does.
Maybe it'll fit somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I have one more adult sweater. Now this one will probably be frogged. This is in our favorite John Arbon Knit by Numbers DK. It is beautiful yarn. This is the Akane sweater by Iri Shimizu. And it's an all-over cable pattern. And so the thing that is sort of in the back of my mind as I was working on this was I made a mistake early on that is clearly not visible in any way, but I know it's there. And so in the back of my mind, somehow this sweater is flawed, So that's why I'm stuck. But I have some nice needles on here that I'd love to reuse.
It's beautiful.
It is a really, really beautiful pattern. It's well written. I had no trouble following the pattern. There is a chart, and it's bottom up.
I can't wait to go look at that. Because I've mentioned over and over that I'm really looking for a nice cable. I have some to knit, so I don't need one. But it looks beautiful, and this yarn is just luscious.
It is.
Oh, we had one really cool comment. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, someone actually knows John Arbon.
Yeah, and what's his wife's name?
Juliet, his
and
wife.
They're like kind of like neighbors in a way.
Yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was neighbors. I would be over at that place. I'd ask for a job.
Yeah, in Devon.
Yeah.
I think the mill is closed right now to the public. But
oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, so she hasn't been in a while, but Yeah, that's very cool.
That was a fun little small world comment. Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's really beautiful. I love the color. That would even go well with what you're wearing
It would.
too. Yeah.
I had a green face. I was really into green.
I'm in a blue phase right now.
Yeah, really into that gold color.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So, yeah.
So what else do you have?
I think I have one more pair of socks that I cast on with, because I wanted to try the Fiber Co. Amble sock yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I cast on a pair of socks over the Christmas holiday on my favorite Chow size 1 needles because I really, really wanted to try this yarn. And this is also a Helen Stewart pattern. And it's bees, something about bees.
Oh, wow. This is really beautiful, delicate.
Yeah. So far I'm loving the yarn. It's absolutely luscious. It is a little fuzzy, so I find myself, having to be careful not to pick up the fuzz of the stitch next to the stitch I'm working. But yeah, that's one repeat of the chart there. It's got a twisted 1x1 rib, like most of her patterns do. She just has beautiful lace socks. So I thought because this yarn was so plain that I would do something kind of fancy. So I will definitely finish these.
Yeah. So that's it?
I think that's it. That's a lot.
It doesn't seem like that much, though, as you're talking about it. I mean, oh my goodness, did you see, I think the end of December or early January, Crystal T Knits, which we know her name is...
Tara.
She listed all of her Whips UFOs.
Oh, really?
It stressed me out just to...
Was there a lot?
Oh my goodness, there was a lot. But that's how she works. It's fine. That's what she does.
Right.
But yeah, if I've started something, like I said, if I work on something else, it makes me feel like I'm cheating on the other project. And I know they're in my closet. Actually, I told Jonna when I first got here, I'm not counting this one pair of socks as a work in progress or UFO, because when we were going to go to Woolen Folk.
Did I drive?
You were driving, so I was going to be in the back seat. I was currently working, I think, on my novice cardigan because my Orkney was finished. And my novice is huge, thick yarn. It was warm that day.
Yeah, it was.
And I just didn't want to bring a huge project and carry it around or anything. And we knew, even at Woolen Folk, it was on the Hudson River. We knew that we were going to maybe sit in an Adirondack chair and hang out and knit something. So John was like, you should just bring a pair of socks. So I grabbed some sock yarn, not Yarn Love, just some other sock yarn from my closet. And I was sitting in the back seat. I'm like, okay, what do I cast on? She told me what to cast on. Okay, and I just started doing rib. But I have no intention of finishing them. It was just something to do.
Okay.
It was just something to do. So that's not counted. But I know.
Probably told you
but you know what? When I'm trying to fall asleep at night, it screams at me from my closet.
Oh my goodness.
You started me! And you haven't even looked at me!
I have a little bit of that. I do. This purple sweater is mocking
Don't
me.
the projects like yell at you when you're walking
sometimes. But no, that's why
when they're in the bag.
I put them in bags, in boxes, in bags, in boxes, in closets, far, far away, so they cannot mock me. No, seriously, they cannot. Funny. Yeah.
But anyway.
But what was I gonna say?
I don't know. I interrupted you. The sweater?
No,
I'm not having so much. My pair of socks.
Oh no, I was watching Kevin and Ray from Needles at the Ready, their last episode, and Ray's like, just cast on with Wild Abandon. Who cares? And I thought, who cares?
Exactly.
Are the knitting police going to come get me?
There is no right and wrong. It's not right.
So I cast something else on.
No. Okay, what is it?
I did, but it's something I've been in my queue for a long time. I've been mulling it. I'm kind of like knitting it in my head. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, You're like, how's this going to work? And I actually bought yarn for it and swatched on 2 different needle sizes. And Caitlin Hunter has just a loose gauge. And I thought, I am never, ever going to make gauge with this thin yarn. Beautiful yarn, but so I ended up buying new yarn, of course, as one does. And I cast on. So it's the Nordiska by Caitlin Hunter.
Oh, right. You said that.
Yeah. So I just cast on. It's a V-neck. And so I'm knitting flat. And it's got cables on the raglan.
But you said you only have like an inch or something.
I do. So yeah. I didn't want
We're not
to
showing it right now.
Yeah. So hopefully I make some progress on that because it's a gorgeous sweater. I've been lusting after it for since Vogue Knitting Live. I think I saw
Mm-hmm.
her sample at Vogue Knitting Live.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Okay.
no knitting police in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
You know what I'm thinking of right now is when we're doing our rundown of 2021, you remembered a sweater that you had started. It was too small, and you ripped it out, and you erased all pictures, evidence of it, because it made you so upset.
Oh man, because
You didn't even have a picture. We don't even have a picture.
I don't
of
have
it.
a picture of it. It was a beautiful sweater, and it's called the Gold
Wing.
Wing by Jennifer Steingass, and I knit it in John Arbon, and
it was gold with white, or was it white with gold? I can't remember.
So it's cool because it starts out as white is the main color, and the gold is the accent color, and then it
Oh yes,
right,
and
it
it's-
transfers to
it
gold
was
is the main
beautiful.
color, and the white is the accent color.
So again, it wasn't an issue with the pattern. It wasn't an issue
No.
with the yarn, but you just made it too small.
I made it too small because I should have gone up a needle size for the color work, and I definitely will do that for the Nordiska. And I'm going to make some sleeve modifications too because I don't want my sleeves as short as hers are. I'm not going to do the decreases, I think, and I'm going to do color work. I'm actually was inspired to knit it by Inga of the Knitting Traditions podcast. She is a beautiful young woman living in Western Norway. She's a physician, and knitting is just part of her family life.
Mm-hmm.
And she knit a beautiful version of the Nordiska that I thought, I've been wanting to make that sweater for so long, and I love her version of it. So
I can't wait to see yours.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it yet, right?
So I'm actually knitting it out of Norwegian yarn, Rama Fenalgarn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm totally inspired.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Now, are you you still have the gold wing yarn? Are you gonna go back and actually knit it? Because it was beautiful.
I don't know. I don't know. It was a beautiful sweater.
It was.
You know what? I did get hung up though on the small circumference color work. It was too small of a circumference. I think I did magic loop, and I had a little bit of trouble in the gap.
Changing
magic
colors
loop,
or carrying
changing
the
colors,
color.
carrying the color over that needle change, and it just was a little snug. But like I said, I should have gone up a needle size, especially because it was a small circumference.
Right.
And I just wasn't happy. It was a little pulley. It doesn't matter. Even if you make the floats incredibly loose. So
I always feel like I'm making my floats way too loose.
Right.
They look, but then once you're done and you block it and you wear
all
it,
kind of wiggles
it
into
does.
place.
It does wiggle into place.
What about knitting that inside out? The sleeve inside out.
I've heard of that.
I've heard of that.
If you knit inside out, then your floats are longer
Right,
than the
because of the
inside.
outside.
They're on the outside, so they have to go a little further.
Right.
But I don't know. That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think going up a needle size is fine, and then stretching your stitches out on the needle.
One of our lights just went out, so sorry about that.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. That means it's time to stop.
Yeah.
But
This was fun.
yeah.
It was good to revisit all of this.
Mhm.
It's not maybe as bad as it could be, right?
No, it really isn't.
And actually, there's some projects in here that I love.
Yes.
So
And there's valid reasons why you didn't continue with some of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's totally fine. That would stress me out, but that doesn't stress you out. So, or does it?
no. But I mean, the thought of finishing everything does stress me out.
That's stressful.
And I knew that I wasn't going to finish that.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I honestly don't know what to do with this little purple sweater,
It's
to be
really
honest,
sweet.
because it's just nearly finished. But
Yeah.
um,
You can even just do short
Maybe I'll have
sleeves.
I'll
You
have
can like
another-
put on a teeny tiny bit and do like you did on my ranunculus and just do teeny tiny little short sleeves. And it would
Yeah.
be finished.
or maybe I'll have another grandchild.
And you can leave this
to finish it
raw,
for.
right? It's
I
supposed
did
to
make a V for Vivi sweater that had a raw rolled.
It's perfect, just the way it
rolled
is.
edge.
Yeah, I think you should finish it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it off you and I'll give it to one of my granddaughters.
No, you don't have to do that to save me from my it mocking me.
I don't think they mock you.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
It was really fun. I'm really glad we did this. And
Yeah.
so now we have to do a sock video eventually, though. Just like sock. What did we sock?
Tips and
Knitting
tricks.
socks, tips and tricks. Yes.
I've definitely learned a few things about socks, and I didn't invent any of these tips or tricks, but just picked them up along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But things that really helped me, I no longer fear striped socks, and that was just an easy fix.
Yeah. And I even need to ask you. Like I said, I don't really have a pattern for these.
Oh, right.
So I don't know what kind of heel I'm going to do. I'm knitting with I know we're not talking about socks now. Oh, it is a work in progress though, right?
Yeah.
I'm knitting with the zebra yarn that was
beautiful.
One of the Yarn Love yarns that we gave away. And so I don't know how long I'm going to make the ribbing. Well, then I'll start with other colors.
So I usually do 15 or 20 rows.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not counting, but I can just count. And then what kind of heel to do.
But at least you know they'll be the same because you're knitting them 2 at a time.
Exactly.
So you can make them as long as you want.
I can make them as long as I want.
Yeah.
And then what kind of heel to do. Only heel I've ever done, ever, is a heel flap. Top down heel flap. That's all I've ever done. So you're going to help me with that, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm partial to the heel flap and gusset.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Since you like it, I like it.
Okay.
I trust you.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us again.
Yes, thank you so much. Don't forget, if you have works in progress or UFOs, and if you think there's a difference, write it in the comments.
Yeah.
Also, hashtag us your projects. We'd love to see them. Again, our hashtag is, and I'm going to put it in the caption, but hashtag show Kim and Jonna. So we love to see your projects, and we almost have 3,000 followers. Maybe by the time this airs, we will.
Probably.
So it's getting harder and harder to really respond to every single.
We do read every single.
We read every single one.
Yes.
I'll at least heart every single one. If there's a specific question,
just to let you know that we've read it and we acknowledge your comment.
Yeah, and if there's something about something that Jonna knows, she'll answer, or I'll answer. I'll just we'll answer as together.
I kind of do it when I wake up in the morning and get my coffee and open my laptop and go through comments. And,
it's fun. We love the comments.
We
love them. They're just lovely, lovely, lovely comments.
And if you post something on Instagram with the hashtag show Kim and Jonna, and it's a UFO or a whip or you're stalled, or I'm really interested in the thought process. Yeah. What hangs people up, and what do you need to get motivated again, or to get started again, or if it's just something that needs to be reimagined. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you so much for tuning in. Mm-hmm. We'll see you next time.
Yep.
Bye. Bye.
It's so funny that I'm wearing this. Does it look weird?
See, this is exactly why 2 at a time is not relaxing for me.
Well, I just threw it on the ground, so not that often. Do you mind?
No. One of these days it'll feel comfortable, right?
We didn't talk about our bunnies. Well, we weren't going to, but
no. But we're going to do an episode on toys. So yeah, this is the big brother.
Didn't we name them in the beginning?